Morning, students. So today we are going to start with the rest part of our history chapter 3, ruling the countryside. Yesterday we have done how the company became Diwan. Then we have talked about revenue for the company. After that we have done the need to improve agriculture, why the Britishers wanted to improve agriculture and all. Then what kind of problems were faced by the jamindar and the rajas during that time. Okay, then we have talked about Monroe system. After that, now it's turn. All was not well. What is the meaning of all was not well? What is given here? As they desire to increase the income, land revenue official fixed too high a revenue demand. As they mean who? Britishers, right? Second point, as peasants were unable to pay, raids filled the countryside and villages become deserted in many regions. Right? These 2 points are there. So we can say that within a few years after the new system were imposed or started by the Britishers, it was clarified that all was not well with them. With whom all was not with them? The Indian people, the peasants were all. Okay, so driven by the desire to increase the income from the land revenue, official fixed it was too high. Okay, the peasants, as we discussed yesterday also, the peasants were unable to pay. The peasants, right? Okay, they were where they were going away, they were going to countryside, they were going to, we can say that, urban areas, because they were living in the villages, and in the villages they had to do for their survival, we can say that, cultivation. Okay, and during this they have to do many taxes with high rate and all. That's why they started to flood countryside. And what will the impact of this? The villages became deserted in many regions, right? So optimistically we can say that officials had imagined that new system would transform the peasants into rich, enterprising farmers, but this did not happen because the farmers were moving from one place to another place because they were unable to pay the revenues and taxes imposed by the Britishers, right? So this thing was not good or not well for the Britishers, right? So next point is about, now due to this abusive, whatever whatever these policies, what kind of policies they have started. We have talked about Monroe system yesterday, and then we have talked about, today we will talk about Mahalwari system also, right? So because of this the farmer were getting exploited. Okay, so next point is about crops. What kind of crops? For Europe, the Britishers were demanding. Okay, so as we have done earlier, they were focusing more and more on cash crops because they wanted to make more and more profits. By the late 19th century, the company was trying to expand the cultivation of opium and indigo. Indigo was a blue color, we can say that, crop. Okay, so it was used to dye and all. We'll discuss in detail later on, right? So the Britishers forced cultivator to produce jute, tea, sugarcane, wheat, cotton, and rice in various parts of India. So we can say that these all were cash crops, right? So as a result of the Industrial Revolution in England, there was an increase in demand for commercial crops like all these: tea, coffee, indigo, jute, oilseed, we can say that, sugarcane, mulberries, okay, so rubber. These crops were grown on a large estate called plantations. owned by the European people. Okay, so tea plantations were also set up in Assam, Bengal, Kerala, in our India, while indigo, poppy seeds, and jute processing units were set up in Bengal and Bihar. Okay, so the planters on these plantations learned the tribal and landless labor to work for measly salaries. Okay, they were working on salaries. They were not the owner of their land or whatever production they were doing or whatever crops they were growing. For that, they were not, we can say that, owner of them. Okay, the farmers were working on the salaries and all. Okay, in course of time, however, this practice resulted in the decline of production of food, grains, and an acute shortage of food supply occurred because they were focusing on these crops. Okay, so there was a little bit food shortage was there. Okay, so indigo, now we will talk about indigo. Okay, as we know that, as we have done, yes, the Britishers were focusing on these crops. Okay, so indigo are natural blue dye is a plant extract used from coloring cloth. As I told you, it was a popular dye in India and was also exported for use in the use in the English textile industry, right? So with expansion of cotton production in England, there was a dramatic rise in the demand for indigo. Now, where was the demand of indigo? In England. Okay, by the end of the 18th century, because it was used to dye the clothes and all. Okay, to meet this demand, the colonial government encouraged indigo plantation in Bengal by 1910. So they were focusing, they wanted to more production of indigo only, so they focused in Bengal first by 1910. Okay, India dominated the indigo market, right? So, as indigo trade grew in the anticipation of high returns, many Europeans came to India to become planters. Okay, so those who had no money took loan from the company or the banks. Okay, because they were coming or they came from England, right? So now, how was the system, or what was the system of, we can say that, indigo? No, I told you here many planters came from Europe to India. What do you mean by planters? A large farm operated by a planter. Okay, so planter, or we can say that, what is the meaning of plantation? Okay, plantations mean what? A large farm operated by a planter employing various form of forced labor. Plantations are associated with the production of coffee, sugarcane, tobacco, tea, and cotton. That is known as. So we can say that many planters to make their plantations in India came from Europe, right? So system of indigo production. What was the system of indigo production? Now, indigo production was organized under two systems. First, Rayat, second is Nij, Nij. Okay, so in these two systems, the planters entered into an agreement with the Rayat. Rayat, who are Rayat? The farmers. Okay, the planters gave money in advance at low rates to the Rayats to cultivate indigo. The planters provide the seeds and tools, while the cultivators, who are cultivators? Rayats. Okay, Rayats, or we can say that the Indian farmers, had to grow and take care of the crops. However, the cultivators had to commit to grow indigo at least 20% of the area under him. Okay, so means we can see that that was one type of commitment. Yes, you have to grow 20% only of, you know, the planter's crop. What was the planter's crop? The planter's crop was indigo. Once the indigo crop was harvested and delivered to the planter, a new loan was given to the peasants or farmer or the rayat, right? This was a never ending cycle. Besides, the planters insisted that the indigo must be cultivated. Okay, they were saying, you, we don't know whether you are growing any other crop or not, but the plantation of or the cultivation of indigo should not be stopped, right? So the indigo must be cultivated on the best soil, right, which was exhausted from the soil. As a result, after an indigo harvest, farmers were unable to grow rice on the same piece of land. Why? Because whatever the roots of the, you know, indigo, they goes under the ground very deep. Okay, it was very difficult to grow another crop where earlier the indigo crop was grown. So that's why the farmers were very, you know, we can say that unhappy, or they didn't want to go for this cultivation, the cultivation of indigo. Okay, Nij Nij was also a part of indigo cultivation. Okay, another system of indigo cultivation in which the planter bought or rented land to grow indigo. Okay, first system, the planters were giving money, okay, to the farmers. Second system, to produce, or we can say that to encourage or to increase the production of indigo, the second system was started by the Britishers, Nij. Okay, here the planters were not giving money, they were giving, you know, they were giving rented land to the farmers. Why they were giving this land to the farmers? To grow or to make more and more production for indigo, right? Why they were focusing on this? Because indigo was in great demand in the European countries. Now that's why the Britishers wanted to sell this indigo to European countries, and they wanted to more and more profit with this, right? So they personally owned the equipment like plow and carts, right? They hired peasants on daily wage, means now they were, you know, they were having their own land, and whatever peasants were there, they were working on salaries, right, on daily wages. We can say that whatever work they were doing daily na, according to that they were getting their money. Okay, they hired peasants on daily wages to produce and transport indigo, right? The biggest disadvantage of this system was what? What was the biggest disadvantage of the system? Planters face difficulty in acquiring large compact blocks of land to expand indigo production. Indigo plantation also involved heavy investment, because all planters were not, you know, Britishers. As we earlier done, they came from the various part of the Europe. Okay, the planters came from European countries to India. Okay, now they have to invest lot of money to plant indigo in our India. Okay, that was a great problem from the European planters, right? So why? Because indigo plantation involved heavy investment in terms of purchasing and maintenance of plow and bullocks, right? So we can say that all these problems they have to face. Okay, so they could not get these supplies from peasants, and there was a shortage of labor too. Why there was a shortage of labor too? Because when the Britishers started to impose many and high rated, taxes and revenues on the farmers. The farmers started fled to the countryside. And for indigo production or cultivation, nobody was interested. No Indian farmer was interested. Okay, that's why they were facing a lot of problem regarding plow, regarding blocks, regarding farmers, or we can say that laborers. Who were facing these problems? The European planters. Okay, so this was because precisely around the same time of the year, the farmer were engaged in rice cultivation, because the farmers wanted to rice cultivation because they wanted to survive their families. And as we have earlier done in this passage also, ki 20% part of the farmers land was already fixed कि yes, you have to grow only and only indigo, right? But the farmers didn't want to grow indigo, okay, because they wanted to grow what kind of crops, like rice and all, by which their family, they can survive their family. Okay, right, all these things were going on. Okay, so here is written, uh, does color have a history? The rich blue color was commonly called as indigo. Okay, so the blue dye used in the Morris prints in 19th century in Britain was manufactured from indigo plants cultivated in India. India was the biggest supplier of indigo in the world 19th century, as we done the by 1910 the plantation of indigo was started in Bengal, right? So why the demand for Indian indigo was there? Because it was used in many, many works. Like here it is given, it was demanding, what was demanding? Indigo. There was a great demand of indigo in the European countries like France, Italy, okay, and Britain. Why? Because they indigo was a blue color plants. Okay, so they were using this to dye the cloths. Dye mean to color. Okay, color. Dye mean color. Okay, so coloring. So next, indigo produce a rich blue color, whereas the dye from wood and other plant was pale and dull. Okay, whatever light color cloths were there, they, by using indigo, they can give them another color, right? Indigo plantations came up in many parts of the North America also, right? So Britain turns to India. How Britain turns to India? The company in India expand the area under the indigo cultivation to meet the rising demand for indigo in Europe. As we have discussed, many planters come to India, okay, to make more and more production of indigo and all. Okay, as the indigo trade grew, commercial agent and official of the new company began investing in indigo production. How they started, investing in, because investing in the indigo production, because they were providing rented land, they were providing whatever things needed by the farmers or the cultivators or the royals from their own sides. That's why that is known as investment by the Britishers. How was it? How was indigo cultivated, or who cultivate? There were two types of system of indigo cultivation: niche and wraith. We have discussed already what was wraiths, okay, and what was niche. Who was wraith? Okay, wraith was forced to cultivate indigo. The planter, we have done, the planter provided the seed and tool, okay, whatever things they were in need of, and they need to 20% cultivation part of the indigo only. And what is the niche cultivation? The planters bought or rented land. Okay, yeah, the planters need to bought by spending their own money, or they have to take, in niche cultivation they have to buy the land, or they have to take the land on rent, and then the farmers or the laborers will work on the that rented land. Okay, so this is the difference between niche and Raiti. Again I am telling, in Raiti they were giving them whatever material they were in need of. Okay, for example, tools, equipments, seeds, and all. In this system the European uh, planters need to buy land by their own site, or they have to take land on rent, and after that the workers, the laborers, or the farmers will work on that daily basis wages or daily basis salaries. Okay students, so this is the difference between the niche cultivation and variety. Okay, now there's a written the problem with niche cultivation. Surely the problems will be there, we have already done, because they need to invest so much money. Who need to invest? The European planters. Okay, so they were unable to expand niche cultivation because there was a shortage of farmers, there was a shortage of laborers, right students? Indigo on the land of riots. What is the meaning of this? In Rayati system, the planters forced the riots to sign a contract and agreement which is also known as Satta. Okay, so during Rayati system, or in Rayati system, the farmers need to do one type of commitment, or we can say agreement, which was known as Satta. They need to be signed, right? Next, those who signed the contract got cash advances from planters at low rates of interest to produce indigo only, not any other crop, right? Those who signed Satta, they were getting cash in advance. Why? Because they need to, or they are going to plant, or they are going to grow only the cultivation of indigo. Next, what we are going to do? Indigo on the land of Raith. Okay, because we have done the niche cultivation was not working properly. Okay, now they were focusing on Raithi. Okay, so Raith system, we can see that. So the peasants got very low price for the indigo, whatever they were producing. Okay, they were getting very low prices, instead of they were working hard, more and more working. Okay, they need to put more and more effort to cultivate indigo, but in compare to that they were getting low prices. Okay, they produced, and the cycle of we can say that loans were never ended. Why? Because their prices were low. Again and again, to grow this crop they need to take more and more loans from the planters. So third point, how indigo cultivation was affecting the life of we can say that riots or the farmers of India. After an indigo harvest, the land could not be able sown with rice, which the peasants preferred. As I told you, the roots of the indigo goes deep to the ground. That's why it was very difficult to sow or to grow another crop on that same place, right students? So next point is about blue rebellion, why it was started. As we have discussed, the farmers were unhappy, they were not satisfied with the plantations of the indigo. Now they were fed up with all these things, because they were not allowed to grow their own crops first. the planters, or we can say that the European planters were forced to the raitis or to the farmers कि yes, you have to cultivate only what, the indigo. So that's why the farmers were fed up for this. Okay, the indigo rebellion uh, of 1859, or we can say that 60, was directed against the European planters. Why it was started? Because the Indian farmers or the Raith wanted to get rid of this indigo cultivation, right? So the European planters were exploiting, okay, to the Indian farmers. Okay, so that's why the indigo rebellion of 1859 to 60 was directed or started against the European planters who exploitation whose exploitation had pushed the peasants to the edge, right? The raids refused to pay rents, attacked planters and agents of planters, and destroyed indigo factories. Women also actively participated in this rebellion. Okay, why they were doing so? Because they wanted to get rid of this. Okay, they did not want to go further for the indigo cultivation. Okay, so a surprising aspect of this rebellion was that it got support from the Bengal educated class also, who had otherwise shown no interest in earlier peasants movement. Okay, they were also becoming the part of this rebellion. Okay, the newspapers reported against the whatever activities were going on, or whatever exploitation were done by the uh, indigo planters and all. Okay, so that's why the whatever the farmers were there, uh, they have revolted against the European planters, right? So there are so many points are given here why they have you know they have started their rebellion against the Britishers, or we can say that who the person were there, the person Champaran movement was started. We will discuss in detail, okay, in the rest part of the chapter. So here we have talked about so many points from the starting. Okay, I think you have an idea ki what is included in this chapter. Okay, so you have to write all these notes. So please, because chapter is very big, so I have divided all the whatever the chapter in small points. Okay, so when you will go through these points, you will easily understand what is given. You need not to go for whole the chapter, right? So you will easily understand what is given here. So many points we have discussed in this chapter. Okay, so the tomorrow we will start the rest part in detail, so of the chapter. Till then, keep learning. Take care.